Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel where we bring legendary stories to life. Today, we re-journeying to a sun-drenched land of deserts and hidden treasures to uncover a tale that has captivated hearts for centuries. This is the story of a humble woodcutter, a secret cave, and the magic words that changed everything. Get ready for Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves. Once upon a time, in a small dusty village nestled at the edge of a vast desert, there lived a poor but kind-hearted man named Ali Baba. Every single morning, he'd lead his trusty donkey into the forest, spending his day cutting wood to sell at the marketplace. He wasn't a man of wealth, but he was rich in happiness and honesty, content with his simple life. One sweltering afternoon, as Ali Baba was gathering firewood, a strange sound broke the silence of the forest. It was the thunder of hooves, growing louder and louder, mixed with the boisterous voices of men. Startled, Ali Baba quickly scrambled up a tall leafy tree, concealing himself among the branches. From his hidden vantage point, he watched in awe as 40 fierce-looking men on powerful black horses galloped into the clearing. Each man carried heavy sacks that clinked with the sound of gold and jewels. Ali Baba's heart pounded in his chest. Who were these men? The leader, a commanding figure with a fiery red turban, reined in his horse and bellowed, "Stop here. This is our treasure cave." They all dismounted and gathered before a giant, imposing rock face. The leader raised his hands dramatically and shouted a phrase that would echo through history. "Open Sesame." With a deep, grinding rumble, the massive rock split apart, revealing a dark, cavernous opening. From within, an enchanting glow emanated, hinting at the untold riches inside. The thieves, one by one, rode their horses into the cave. A moment later, the leader's voice boomed again, "Close Sesame," and the rock sealed itself shut, as if it had never been opened. Ali Baba was frozen in disbelief. He clung to the tree, his mind racing. He waited patiently and silently until the last echo of the thieves' horses faded into the distance. Only then did he dare to climb down. His legs felt weak as he approached the colossal rock. Taking a deep breath, he nervously whispered the magic words he had overheard, "Open Sesame." The effect was instantaneous. The rock obeyed, groaning open just as it had for the thieves. Ali Baba stepped inside and his jaw dropped. Before him lay mountains of treasure beyond his wildest dreams. He saw gleaming gold coins piled high, sparkling diamonds the size of his fist, luxurious silks in every color imaginable, and ornate crowns glittering in the dim, magical light. He was tempted, of course, but his honest nature held him back from greed. He filled just one small bag with gold coins enough to help his family live comfortably, but not enough to draw suspicion. With his small treasure secured, he turned to the entrance and whispered, "Close Sesame." The cave sealed behind him, and the secret was once again locked away. That night, back in his humble home, Ali Baba revealed everything to his wife. They spread the gold coins on their small table, their eyes wide with amazement. Their fortune had changed overnight. But secrets, especially those involving treasure, have a way of getting out. Ali Baba's brother Kasim was a man consumed by greed and envy. He happened to overhear their hushed, excited conversation. Kasim immediately confronted Ali Baba, his eyes glinting with avarice. He bullied and pressured his kind-hearted brother until Ali Baba, fearing for his family, reluctantly revealed the secret of the cave and the magic words. The very next morning, without a moment's hesitation, Kasim rushed to the forest, his mind filled with visions of endless wealth. Standing before the giant rock, Kasim proudly shouted, "Open, Sesame!" The cave opened, and he stormed inside, laughing maniacally at the sight of the treasure. He didn't just take one bag. He began stuffing dozens of large sacks and baskets with gold, jewels, and anything he could carry. He was so lost in his greed, so overwhelmed by the sheer volume of riches, that the two simple magic words completely slipped his mind. When he was finally ready to leave, he turned to the entrance and panicked. Open barley," he stammered. "Nothing happened. Open wheat, open rice," he shouted, his voice growing more desperate with each failed attempt. But the rock remained stubbornly shut. He was trapped. Just then, the thunder of hooves returned. The 40 Thieves had come back to their hideout. Imagine their fury when they found the cave door open and a stranger inside, frantically trying to steal their loot. Without mercy, they struck Kasim down for his transgression, leaving his body inside the cave as a grim warning to any other intruders. When Kasim didn't return home, a worried Ali Baba set out to find him. His heart shattered when he entered the cave and saw what had become of his greedy brother. With a heavy heart, he gently carried Kasim's body back home and gave him a proper burial, shrouded in secrecy and sorrow. But the thieves were not fools. They knew someone else had discovered their secret. The leader declared to his men, "Someone else knows our words. We will find him, and he will pay." The hunt for the second intruder had begun. One evening, a traveler knocked on Ali Baba's door, asking for shelter for the night. He presented himself as an oil merchant, and he seemed polite and unassuming. But this was no ordinary merchant. It was the leader of the 40 Thieves in disguise, executing his cunning plan for revenge. He had brought with him 40 large oil jars, claiming they were full of valuable oil. In reality, 39 of those jars each concealed a thief, armed and ready to attack. Ali Baba, ever the kind host, welcomed the merchant in, completely unaware of the deadly trap. But his household had a secret weapon, his clever and perceptive maid, Morgiana. That night, as Morgiana went to the courtyard to fetch some oil for the kitchen lamps, she was startled by a whisper coming from one of the jars. "Is it time yet?" Her blood ran cold, but her mind raced. She instantly understood the terrifying truth. The jars were not filled with oil, but with assassins. Thinking fast, Morgiana devised a brilliant and daring plan. She quietly went to the kitchen, boiled a huge cauldron of water, and then, moving silently from jar to jar, she poured the scalding water into each one, neutralizing the hidden threat inside. She went through 39 jars, one by one. When she reached the final jar, she found it was empty. The leader was not hiding. He was inside the house, waiting. The next day, Ali Baba invited his guest, the merchant, to dinner, still oblivious to the danger. Morgiana, however, watched him like a hawk. During the meal, she noticed the merchant slipping his hand under his robe, preparing to draw a hidden dagger and strike Ali Baba down. But Morgiana was faster. In a flash, she performed a dance for the guest, and as she twirled past him, she expertly threw a dagger she had concealed, striking the thief leader and saving her master's life just in the nick of time. Ali Baba was stunned, first by the attack and then by the revelation of who his guest truly was. He was overwhelmed with gratitude for Morgiana's bravery and quick thinking. "Morgiana," he said, his voice filled with emotion, "you are wiser and braver than any of us. From this day forward, you are no longer a servant. You are free, and you are a cherished part of this family." From that day on, Ali Baba and his family, now including the heroic Morgiana, lived in peace and prosperity. He never returned to the treasure cave, wisely choosing to leave the vast riches behind. The secret of open sesame was once again returned to the desert winds, and the cave remained untouched. And so the story of Ali Baba became a legend told for generations, a powerful reminder that while greed leads only to destruction, true treasures are found in wisdom, loyalty, and kindness. What a story! It just goes to show you that the best things in life aren't always gold and jewels. Thank you so much for joining us on this adventure. If you enjoyed this tale, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss another story. We'll see you next time.